All right, hey guys, it is Matt Hedstrom here with REP, Rehab Estimator Pro. Glad you are here. I have got a friend, colleague today with me, Andrew Engel. He is with Freshpicked Leads, so we are going to tear it up a little bit. Hey, Andrew, how you doing, man?
Good, Matt. Thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. We're reaching out. We got all kinds of people listening to these shows now, as far as stuff that we offer is, short sale experts, private funding academy, rehab estimator pro, real deal coaching. So it's fun to mix it up like this. I'm glad you're on today. Besides, people are sick of seeing Scott. I'm kidding, Scott. Love you, man. So. But I want to introduce Andrew's up. We're down southeast corner of Wisconsin, and in Kenosha area, and so you come visit us frequently. You're in the state, but you're north. How far north? Where are you hailing from?
I am residing in Oshkosh, so about 2 hours north from you.
Yep, not bad. Yeah, and that's a pretty easy drive. So I appreciate you coming down. And a few years ago, man, let's. How long ago was Freshpicked Leads born?
It was born in 2018. So we are, and it was December of 2018. So we are rounding out on our third full year.
That's great, man. That's fantastic. So, and Rehab Estimator Pro was born, before that, not too long before that. Another year under our belt, but offering software as a service, SaaS product, getting into the software business. So correct me if I'm wrong, man, but the story goes, was this Jason Lund sitting in a bar with you one night or after a RIA and saying, man, I wish we could do this? And you were kind of the guy that, now I might have parts of the story, right? Because, this is Jason saying, but how was that idea born, that product born for Freshpicked Leads?
So the idea started because I wanted to get into real estate investing myself. The whole reason for me to start going to the RIAs was really to start networking, understanding just how everything worked. And I'm very process oriented, and I'm kind of like, okay, what's step one to getting a deal? And that is finding leads. Okay, so how do you get leads? And I noticed a lot of people were just hunting and pecking for data, just on public websites and things. And there was a lot of manual process going into that. And I'm kind of a software developer by trade, and I was just like, and I totally took this other path and rabbit hole and started just 100% automating the process. Yeah. And that's when I kind of built a prototype and then brought it forward and was like, I think this would be maybe a better way of handling this. And it was kind of from there where it was like, well, maybe this is more of a, software business venture, because this could benefit a lot of people. So that's really where it started, and that's kind of where my path in real estate for the past 3 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man. And so this is you're really dialed down, which is unique as well to the state of Wisconsin right now, because this is a product that works for our judicial system, how we process paperwork, in a court system. We can see everything legally that happens, and that gets recorded publicly. It's all in CCAPs, as we refer to it. And so you're actually going in and you've built something to scrape that data. So I love that you took so this may not be for everybody in the state of Wisconsin. This is huge for investors. Like, if you're not using this tool, you're way behind. This is something that you're already 10 steps behind everybody else using this product, because how easy it is to capture those lead sources and those with what we call motivated sellers, those hardships that have taken place. And so I'll have you go over those in a minute, but still just the general process for all of our listeners out there. And if this is a specific Wisconsin product, but this is a problem you saw and you solved it. And really, honestly, Rehab Estimator Pro came the same thing. I've been a licensed contractor for 25 years. And I had a problem in my short sale business. I was using other software through another CRM that just totally blew up. And so I developed something for myself. I said, man, I need this for my business. And then people started seeing it. right? And all of a sudden now it's a national product, for me. We've got users in all 50 states. And so I love the fact that, when investors like us and entrepreneurs, our brains are working, in tandem with that, with like, hey, look, I've got a problem. Hey, look, this is how I can solve it. And next thing you know, it's just become something that's actually saleable, and it's become a business for you as well. And you're also, you're using it in your business because is this your first flip that you're in? You just, you're now, then you finally stepped across the line and said, hey, I'm going to do this now too. So you have, you're in the middle of your first flip. Tell us about that and how you found it.
Sure. Yeah. First flip, this year, essentially I've just been putting the word out, networking, because over these past couple of years, this business has actually served a really great purpose of being able to build my network.
That's great.
That's what I wanted to do with this entire time, was really just have enough people in my corner to say, yes, that guy, he knows how to treat people right in this business. He's got integrity, and I would go to him and give him, leads or, help if I would ever need to, call somebody for really anything. You know how many things come up during a full rehab. And that's really where it's gotten me. So I just went to all the RIAs and just started talking about, hey, I am now looking for deals specifically in Oshkosh right now. And luckily, a lot of people want to get out of Oshkosh, so that has helped. But I am actually not even marketing to my own leads for Freshpicked Leads right now. Awesome. Because I feel like there is power in limiting yourself, putting limitations on you, because I could very easily go through and market to these leads myself. I have them coming in every day, but instead I figured it would be good to firsthand look at other data sources now, start marketing to those so that I can understand what works and what doesn't, and then from there start pulling those in as well and say, yes, we know that we get this response rate off of this. These are all tested by me, and we can go from there. So
awesome. Well, that's great, man. I love it. I love that. I love that you're in it. I love that you're now. And I had asked you in the beginning before the show. I'm sure it's gone 100% as planned. Every contractor has shown up on time and given you no. So, but no, you're earning yours, man. Blood, sweat, and tears, right? So, but so, and here's the deal. Just yesterday, man, we had Freshpicked Leads up. My daughter was in the office. She's 18. She's trying to figure some stuff out for direction she wants to go. But in the meantime, she's making money with dad's business, and she just hand wrote out 120 letters as far as just addresses. We already have a system for our letters to be stuffed, but this was all pre-foreclosures, that pulled directly from Freshpicked Leads, and with using software and using tools in your business, because that's really what I want to emphasize to everybody today. You've got to have tools in your business. I don't care what they are. That you start this business, you can't get quick, or you can't enhance further your journey and make that quicker by just using a yellow pad and trying to figure this stuff out. Now, I don't care if it's just free tools you're looking at, or getting some low cost items, and so that you can start, moving yourself forward at a quicker pace. Right. So we found 120 leads that, and we're blanketing the state of Wisconsin right now because we negotiate for over 30 investors in the state of Wisconsin, but we're pushing, we're comparing now quickly and easily, because of your software, what those leads look like in pre-foreclosure because of what's happening now with the forbearance moratorium that's ended, right? So now we're trying to calculate on a daily basis and weekly basis, comparing it not only to the last month, but last year, if those leads are doubling, tripling, if they're slowly trickling, because that's something I can keep in contact with my investors that we negotiate for. Okay. So that's just one aspect. I love how you're getting now into other things, because that's something I was going to ask you about. Like, I took for my coaching students and I said, hey, look, and even at the RIA, you were there you were there for the marketing one, right?
Yes.
So you know what I did? I practiced what I preach, Andrew. I went back and the next day, I went and pulled that vacant list for Kenosha Racine.
Yep.
It was like 600 some leads. Okay. Listen, I have right now over a 5% response rate. I haven't had that in direct mail for a long time. That my phone is blowing up, and I was just trying to prove a point, but now here I am stuck in my business again because I'm training new sales. I just burned it all down with sales team, and I'm training acquisition people right now. And so it's great because I have the leads to train them with. But just so you know, that vacant list, man, that was a powerful list. It has produced already 2 people who one has 40, the other has 60-ish properties. The 60 are free and clear. She's 70, 80 years old, lives in a different state. Well, guess what? Guess who's going to be the guy to help her unload all of these? I'll probably try to wholesale all of them. Okay. But I'm developing that relationship. And this all just came off of one mail. We haven't even sent, our second or third mailings out. This is just responding to leads that have come in based on the vacants. The letter was done really well. I'll share that with you too. Share it with anybody that wants it. But so there's so many different ways that you can hit that you can't do them all. All right. But Freshpicked Leads is a daily part of our business. And then now we're throwing in these other things like you're doing. This vacant list for us has been huge. So, but then you have to have processes after that. We use Rehab Estimator Pro every day in our business to send offers, calculate repairs. And it's these are the things that at least on a bottom level scale, you've got to have some minimum things that, in your business, tools that you're using, software that you're using in order to, like you say, you came into this business a few years ago and said, okay, what is this all about? Leads. That's what everybody's talking about. How do I get these? Well, there's so many different ways to get them, and you've got to capture those in a way that you master and then you keep repeating. So
Absolutely.
If you add, let's say you find something that's working. Okay. You find a list, say it's a vacant list. What are your aspirations for the software side of it? Are you trying to just keep building or maintaining what you have? Are you going to add other pieces? Do you plan on adding a national piece at some point if you crack a list that is good? You know how it works right now. Everybody's getting into list stacking, skip tracing. Are any of those, are you trying to stay focused on one thing and stay in your lane there? Or do you have aspirations to get into something bigger?
I absolutely want to have the best lead service for Wisconsin right now.
Awesome.
And really what I'm looking for is to continue building and continue nurturing the Wisconsin market. But that doesn't mean that I am shying away whatsoever from national. I've looked into almost every state to see kind of how they are operating, what data is available, how other companies are acquiring national data. And the problem I'm seeing with national data is it just doesn't have the either the accuracy or the freshness that I can provide in Wisconsin right now.
Right.
And that's what I really want to stick with. And I'm trying not to compromise that vision of what I'm trying to do here. And that is really to just provide the freshest possible data for real estate investors that I possibly can. And just a lot of data sources that I've seen that can be acquired just doesn't meet that bar that I've set for myself.
Awesome. Great, man. I love it. And I love that, you've decided to focus as well. Cause we hear that a lot, and a lot of people don't practice that. So, and that's how it's going to grow. And man, we're here to help you with that journey. I love it. Especially with having Wisco RIA, which covers the whole state of Wisconsin. I'd love to, do a little tour with you, man, and just hit every location. Let's pick one of these months and just go around and talk about it. Just so, people start seeing it, hearing it, understanding it more. They've got to see your face. So
absolutely. That'd be great.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. So Wisco RIA definitely is able to probably push that message further, than you're going to be able to organically reach. We can get it. We've got 650 members as a database right there. So we'll definitely push this podcast there as well. So, but I love it, man. I hope everybody's heard that, look, there's things that you either, it's kind of like hiring, for me, like you either go and find somebody that is absolutely, for me, I like to overhire, overqualified. Okay. Pay for it, overpay for it, for the absolute best person out there. Or that other route is to develop that person yourself, right? And that's going to take time. It's going to take, obviously the cost isn't great up front, but it is that value, the time that you're spending, is very valuable. So, with this, in this case, I love the fact that, you've got this system right now. You can go out and you can scrape yourself as far as you can go into CCAPs. Wisconsin people can go in and find this data clumsily. But you've already got it set up. It already comes. You can go pull any data you want every single day if you want. And you're pulling 4 lead sources: pre-foreclosures, divorce, right? Probate, and evictions.
Correct.
Right. So those 4 lead types are there every day. You can choose to do what you want with them. I personally put them all into a skip trace and then pull numbers. And then we have a cold calling team that goes and calls everybody as well. So, but you've got to do things on the front end that, you got to pick, hey, where am I going to spend my resources? And you're either going to dial down in a certain area, whether or not you're getting really deep in your market, or you're trying to reach out. I know a ton of investors right now that are working in other markets in other states. And so, but man, if you don't master something yourself with right where you're at, be able to train well, use the tools that are going to, propel your business forward the quickest and the fastest and bring results. You're not going to make it in another. Why are we looking at other markets when you can't even do it well in your own first, right?
Right.
Good. So awesome, man. Well, any words of advice as we can wrap this up? And for anybody new coming into the biz, now that you're into your first flip, is there anything that you could offer? I don't care if it's 2 or 3 points or stuff that you've kind of learned along the way that you would have said, oh man, shoot, I wish I would have known this, or I would have done this differently. What do you got for listeners out there?
I think what I would say is always have a backup plan or a plan B to everyone that you're hiring, because when I went out there and started getting bids and things, I would say, oh yes, this person is a great price and seems the most reliable. And then turns out that they wouldn't be reliable. And I would be waiting, 3 or 4 weeks and then find out that they were not going to be able to make it, or, just didn't turn out. And having like 3 different people that you could go right next to pick up where the other person left off, and just always have that. I mean, I never thought I would be needing to call 20 companies for one job,
right.
And then only have 3 respond, and just being prepared for how much you're going to have to actually network and learn from people, and just acquire contacts and keep those contacts so that you know exactly who you can go to moving forward. Because you start this business thinking that you are the most reliable person, and you would definitely do everything that you say you're going to do, and just most people just don't turn out that way.
Right. You expect that from others, right?
You do. And you have to take as much control as you possibly can and take ownership of every decision. If something goes wrong, that's on you. That is not on the contractor. It's because of something you did. You didn't set the right precedent. You didn't do something. So it's always keeping that mindset. And
that's so good. Yep. I'll tell you what, man, I just told somebody yesterday on another show that I did. I said, look, and I was speaking as the contractor in that case, in that sense. And I was saying, look, man, if you don't care about your project, I don't care about your project. Okay. As the GC, you don't show up, you don't care. You don't, I don't hear from you for weeks. You're not going to, so you are driving it. You're behind those decisions. You're behind, the fact that you're pushing, you have to, and you jumped into this in one of the hardest times, in history with contractors, to be honest. So bro, you're not this is not how it always is. So man, if you can get through this, and then in the years to come, just, keep those nurturing those relationships, keep, showing guys, hey, look, when contractors know, hey, look, I had my window guy and siding guy was in here. yesterday picking up a check, and I said, bro, Fernando, you know, it's been weeks. Like, you're not even billing me out. I know your wife's in the office billing out, like, but this has been done. Like, we already sold this house, you know, and you're showing up. My bookkeeper had checks printed, and I looked at him like, what? Why do we have this check? And he just says, well, I know it's okay. I know you pay. It's never a problem. So he's always chasing the guys, you know, that he knows he might not get it from, but he always knows, like, he does whatever we ask him to do, because he knows we're solid, we're reliable. We've given him work for years and years. And he knows that we're always good for it. There's never a fight, right? So that's what you're trying to build right now. You're trying to build that base, that network, the guys that you know you can call and count on, right? And once you have that, and that network, like you said, is absolutely huge. You didn't really realize how much that you should be, but would be, depending on others, and networking and asking for referrals and asking, hey, you know, does anybody know? I just asked somebody this morning, you know, hey, I'm looking for another counterpart for, you know, bookkeeping. You know, I'm getting into some higher level stuff with depreciation, with all these rentals and refis, and I just need somebody that has a solid backing. And so I'm asking my whole network. I've already asked 20 people today, you know, because that's where I want to hire from, is my first circle, that first circle of, you know, family, friends, and coworkers, you know, partners in essence. So huge, but awesome, man. Well, hey, Andrew, I love it. I love that as an entrepreneur and as just getting into the business, you saw a gap. You filled the gap by creating something instead of going out. Like I said, you can either build something, you know, or, you know, you could have gone out and you could have tried to do this, you know, hired this yourself, or found something, asked somebody, you know, had somebody else build this thing as well, because you saw the hole. But it's the same thing we did. But you're an entrepreneur at heart. You're going after it. You see the absolute value of having processes and systems and tools in your real estate business, because you know you can only get so far, you know, without them. So enjoy having you on, man, and we'll get together real soon. Make our circuit.
Thanks so much, Matt. Looking forward to next time.
Let's throw this up. It's freshpickedleads.com. Real simple. So I'll have some banners thrown across when we get this published, and so everybody sees it. But freshpickedleads.com, and you're not shy either. I know I've done this with a couple other people. If somebody's listening and says, "Man, I wonder if this guy could figure out the system in my state," would you be willing to at least with a contact us on your Freshpicked Leads, if somebody reaches out, and would you be willing to look at something like that, see if it's something that you could develop?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just you can go to freshpickedleads.com. I have a contact us page on there, or you can just send an email to support@freshpickedleads.com.
Perfect. I love it, man. Well, keep crushing it. And I'm glad that flip, when is the flip supposed to go live, man? When are you putting it on the market?
Got about, I'd say a week and a half left.
Solid. All right. So you're going to hit that crowd then. You might want to wait. I don't know when school starts, but you might want to wait, you know, maybe a week or two after school starts, if you're hitting that exact window, because the week school starts, when everybody's putting there, nobody cares. Nobody's looking.
Right.
You know, it's because the market has softened a little bit. So you may want, but talk to others in your community and ask them, ask agents, you know, hey, when is the absolute best time, you know, I should be putting this up.
I will. Perfect.
Cool. All right, man. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.